Hi Becky, I wanted to go over my studio standard framing techniques with you, and then I will point out to you the one that I think will be the best for what we're doing. Usually when I make a window, I make it with a frame with a hook on the corner. This is my framing. It's 1/4 inch by 1/4 inch profile. When I'm doing an installation, which means a window has to fit into a specific area, I tend not to use this framing because I can do exact measurements, but that doesn't mean your opening is really square or rectangular. Sometimes it's off square, and then what you have to do is you have to carve into the wood to make this framing fit. So that is the framing with a hook for suspending. This is what the framing looks like if you were going to use this to install, which means this would fit right into the area. Again, nothing is ever square or round on the planet. So what I usually do is I usually use this framing on windows for installation. This is a really beautiful framing. The profile, again, is 1/4 inch by 1/4 inch. And what happens is when I use this framing on a panel, what you can do is when you go to install this, when you're installing a panel, you never want to have to do tap, 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 tap to get it fit in. It should go into your area and do this. It should just go whoosh, right in and fit. If it doesn't and you tap it in, that means you have to tap it to get it out, and you can break it. And you can break it during both adventurous things with, trying to cram it into an area where it's slightly too large. So the nice thing about this framing is this. You can easily use an X-Acto knife and shave off any areas that are tight. So you're not affecting the glass, the framing is nice and soft, and then what happens is when you use this framing, it's easy to push a glazer's point into it. It's also easy to run a secondary molding, and I have a video about that too if you're curious about that. But if you're having someone install this for you, he'll understand this, and you might want to share this video. So this is the framing I usually use for installation, and this framing is included in the final measurements that you give me, minus a 1/16 of an inch. So I take a 1/16 of an inch off. If the person who is measuring for you is going to take an 1/8 or a 1/16 off, please let me know, because we don't want this to be a 1/4 inch too small and fall through the opening. So if you give me exact dimensions and let me know if those dimensions are what you need and I need to take a 1/16 off for fitting, please let me know. So this is my installation framing. This you can use for installation, but again, nothing is ever square and nothing is ever round, and you cannot manipulate this framing post it being on the panel. If you choose to hang the piece, this is one way to hang it with the hook on the corner. This is what I call my secret hook, so they fit sort of inside a narrow opening, which is great. And I can also do hooks that go to the very back of the framing if you would like to use this framing and screw it into your area. So those are a couple of framing things I thought I would let you know. We will talk about this when you give me the measurements. I will email you some questions to find out exactly which framing I should use. On another note, the framing comes in brass. This is a brass clad, and then this is a nickel silver. So you can get silver or brass, but I'm assuming that the framing is not going to show because it's going to be installed and you're going to run a molding around it. And one more thing, I'm trying not to make this video too long. The other thing is, this is a really beautiful framing, and sometimes when you get this into your opening, you don't want to cover it up because it's so pretty. It's very natural, it's organic. So those are some of your options, and I will talk to you one more time after I get exact measurements to figure out which framing you're going to use so I can measure the glass portion correctly so it all fits in nicely, and then I'll send you some samples, okay? All right, looking forward to working with you, Becky. Thank you.